Good morning. This is Ron Brown. This is something that I meant to cover yesterday when I did a hour-long webinar for the Insider Club members. But since I didn't get to it, I ran out of time. As usual, I'm going to do a short video here and post it on YouTube so everybody can see and understand this process. You can see that I'm down to my user views. These have been dragged down from my folders up here, folder number 20, where I put all of my new views that I want users to use for intraday primarily. But in this instance, I am including both end of day and intraday. This works very well. Now I'm going to click on the first one. This is stocks and groups moving up. I don't want the down, I want the up. And this is end of day and intraday. Both or all of these views access the Smart Group stocks moving up and down. And let me show you that quickly. These are Smart Groups that are generated every day. And they are driven by a combo, and it takes the top 100 stocks and puts them in a folder. So this is stocks and groups moving to the upside. This is everything from $5 up. This one is stocks $1 to $15, and there is very little overlap. You can see that only two stocks overlap between the two groups. Now I'm removing the filter, and that is removed. Anyway, these groups are created daily. These four groups, and I drag them into what I call my non-index files just so we have the history, and I can go back and see when these stocks appeared in these groups. Anyway, going back to this, the stocks and groups moving to the upside, you can see that there are 100 securities. And if I go down to the 1 to 15, you can see there are 100 securities there. I'm going to go back up here to the primary one and notice that the sort is on the industry groups and the percentage change. If you look down this column right here, I'm updating in the background. That's why we are seeing the hourglass. So precious metal and mining was the primary group yesterday, followed by life science equipment. Now this is a very interesting way to do this. If you want to see which of these groups, if any, are following through today, and by the way, the composite is down 1.86% as I'm doing this, so it's a pretty ugly day to the downside. But let's see which of these stocks are holding up. And to do that, what you do is you click on this icon, which turns off the view combo, and then I just drop down to the intraday version. It accesses the same filter. Notice that the precious metal and mining stocks are still on top, and I can see which, if any, of these stocks are continuing higher. And you can see that the precious metal and mining stocks, there's only one that's down, the rest of them are up. But when I go down to life science equipment, you can see that this group is weak. And I'll just open this up. We'll look at it full screen, see if there's any other groups that are really holding up. And the market's really under pressure right now, so I'm surprised to see much of anything up. It looks like the packaged foods are doing okay. They're still green, but the rest of the groups don't seem to be doing that well. Okay, so let's just move on down. I'm going to keep the combo off, and that means I'm still going to be sorting on the groups that were up yesterday. And let's go to 1 to 15. Now this would be the end of day, and here is the intraday. And in this view, remember I've got the combo off, so these stocks are sorted according to the way they were last night. Precious metals, it's mixed. Remember, this is $15 and under. Some of them are up. In fact, several of them are up. Biotechs, some of them are up. Many are down. As I scroll down the list, there's just not a lot of stocks that are following through. I can say that the precious metal and mining, just like we saw in the more expensive stocks, are following through, but exploration and production after yesterday, these are not following through. I'm going to go back up to the more expensive stocks. I'm just looking down the list here. Looks just like packaged food and precious metal and mining are continuing to show strength. Now, this is obviously not a real great day to do this because the market has been all over the place. The volatility has been excessive, and it's under pressure right now, down around 2% in most of the major indexes. But this is a technique that if you have HGSI and if you're a member of the Insider Club, you should try because most days it will help you stay on top of where the strength is. Now, what I'm going to do is let me bring this up here. I'm still on intraday. Now, what I can do, rather than keeping the industry sorted, I can release this combo, and what this does is it brings stocks up that best fit my strong momentum intraday effort versus result combo ranking, and you can see that NVAX is leading the way. And looking at this stock, you can see that it's set up very nicely on the daily chart. Here's a test and a confirmation of this test and an effort to rise today, going back over the weekly in this market which has been extremely volatile, as we all know. This stock has been making headway. Monthly chart, it based for several months, and then it started moving up. Here's a higher high, here's a higher high here on this one, and then it pulled back, and it is trying to establish a higher on the monthly chart. On the daily chart, this would be a higher high than this one. This is a higher high than that one, and it's currently higher than this one. So this stock is showing some momentum to the upside. There have been a lot of favorable VBA flags as this has moved up. Here's a reversal, but it was only a one-day reversal, and then there was an inside day, and the stock began to move again. Now, if you look down here, you can see yesterday that the industry group was up 3.66%, and there's another stock in here, Argin, which also is up for the day in this biotech group. Let's just take a look at it. Now, it's not nearly as tight. It's a lot looser, more expensive stock, and stocks like this can, of course, drive you wild if you're trying to trade in and out of them. Okay, I'm going to move down to the 1 to 15 group. I'm sorted on raw combo here, which really takes into account the percentage price change, the range, and the volume. Here is a stock, SRNE. Let's take a look at it. At one time on the monthly chart, it was around close to $11 and has been declining steadily. The weekly chart is showing some signs of accumulation here. It's still only a $2.50 stock approximately. Let's go to 1B here. At $2.48. But volume's coming into it. We had stopping volume yesterday, some short-term profit taking, but it's showing some strength today. So the intraday combo, of course, will bring these stocks to the top of the list. I've already looked at that one. Let's look at Nova Gold, and if I go over here, you can see that the precious metal and mining was up 4.4% yesterday. I want to see what's going on with these groups today. So what do? I just open up the designer, go to industries, and I rebuild the indexes in group. So I'm rebuilding all the industries, and I'll get a current read on what these industry groups are doing. And what do we have here? You can see that precious metal and mining is 1.82. The industry group for the biotechs is actually down today. So what I did is I went from the end of day group strength to the intraday group strength just by going in and rebuilding the indexes. Once again, all you have to do is go to the industries, go to tools, rebuild indexes in group, and it's going in these groups, and it's going in, it's pulling current stock data, up-to-date data, and it's rebuilding the groups, and this gives me a current read on where the group strength is or weakness. I'm going to sort on this. Let's go to the top, and you can see that the current strength remains in the precious metal and mining. Now some of these are up, some are down. Let's go back up to this one. I'm sorry, this one, the intraday. I'm sorted on the industry percentage price change, and you can see that several of these precious metal and mining stocks are up. Let's take a look at Kirkland Gold, which has been pretty decent recently. And yesterday there was an effort to rise, and it's following through today. Anyway, this is a very powerful technique using the stocks and groups moving up SmartGroups. It would be even more powerful on a day when the market wasn't so much under pressure. Thanks for listening, and I'll be back with other videos.